Hello, I'm Greg Nibler. You probably know that if you've been watching already, but this is Two Box Live. Again, our show here from Two Box Media, where we keep you up to date with technology, culture, and entertainment. All three of those kind of converge with what we are talking about next, and that has to do with the world of gaming. And we have an expert joining us right now. We have Lisa Marie Segarra to talk about everything that is going on with that. Number one, Lisa Marie, it's good to see you. And number two, let's get started here. Where do we want to begin with when it comes to gaming? There's so much that's happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see you too, but no one is seeing any consoles, so that's a big deal. Obviously, just this past month, the new PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S just came out, and they are sold out literally everywhere. No one can get any. They're being sold out within literally seconds. I know Walmart just had the PS5 that went on sale, and it seems like 30 seconds and they were gone. So that's going to be really interesting to see. I'm really excited to see, which is kind of geeky, but it's fascinating, like what the actual numbers are, what sells the most. MPD tracks a lot of this, and they have numbers that are going to be coming out in mid-December. Matt Piscatella, who is one of their analysts, did note a couple months ago around then that the best-selling console might not really be indicative of what everyone wants. It just might be whichever maker makes the most consoles because, there's been a lot of attention on PlayStation and them being sold out, but the Xbox is also sold out. So, I mean, it's really up for grabs and it'll be interesting to see, where this goes in the next year even.
Yeah, I mean, I've know so many people that have been trying to get one and going to a website, and then of course, it crashes or you can't get a hold of them. I even tried for the PlayStation 5, and it's no luck so far. And that's really one of these issues with you see something like this come out, like a brand new console, which happens so infrequently, and especially something next generation like this, and to not have enough consoles out there for people to get seems like kind of a concern. So whoever's going to end up making more, you're right, that could end up being it. And I know, there's some different situations where people have had where they can go out in person to try to get them, which seems insane to me. But there has been that issue as well.
Yeah, so GameStop actually had an in-person sale on Black Friday. A lot of people, myself included, mentioned online, on Twitter, wherever, that this is kind of crazy, genuinely, just because, well, one, there's a pandemic, but not only has the pandemic been ongoing, but we're seeing cases rising. We also saw at the beginning stages of closures that GameStop was really holding out, saying that it was an essential business because it has like monitors and things, denying the fact that even some place like Best Buy or something would do online only or pickup only, and kind of just waiting until Doom Eternal and Animal Crossing came out. They have a lot of business issues, and it seems like they've been relying on this year to save them. And it seems like a really desperate move to me and a really dangerous one. People were camped out, and not just that, they said every store has a minimum of two consoles, but that was really it. And so even if you had 10 people lined up for two consoles, you have 8 people lining up, putting themselves at risk for no reason. And, a lot of places just didn't even have many. It's just really unfortunate to see that happen. I just feel like there are way better ways of doing this. And they're not the only ones. Walmart has also been toying with the in-person sales, the latest to do this.
So we had just a little bit of a connection issue there, but yeah, what you said that Walmart's been trying this as well.
Yeah, they have kind of announced, maybe doing in person, some online or in person or both. And they've kind of rolled it back because, they've gotten backlash for it. And GameStop went through with it though. And for Black Friday, it was like doors open at 7 a.m. People are literally camping out. It's tough.
Yeah, I mean, even in a non-pandemic year, that sounds miserable. Camping out for something, I can wait a few days in order to get my hands on it or try it online. But yeah, interesting approaches, and I guess that is kind of indicative of a lot of different things. But that's the PlayStation 5, Xbox. If you got one, let us know. Do you like them? But you did mention something in there too, and that is Animal Crossing, which has had a pretty big year, I would imagine.
Yeah, definitely. So, it came out right when lockdown started happening all over the country. And it is kind of the perfect social distancing quarantine game, really. And, I feel like there's been less attention on it. Other games that are coming out are really stealing the spotlight, but they just had another really big update that just shows how well it is at, continuing to keep going. They just had their latest update, which added a whole Thanksgiving event, and you could do like all of these collections and get items and recipes. They also added in some holiday winter themed items. And a big change was that they added some more natural styles. A lot of people have been wanting these styles for curly hair, for hair that Black people have specifically that they don't feel was included. And they delivered finally, and people were really excited to see that. You've got like these super cute Afro buns, like afros and braids, and it's just really awesome to see more diversity. You got some more reactions, just a great move, I think, on their part to not just keep interest going, but really listen to what fans are saying and make a move that increases diversity in a simulation game.
It does seem like the game that's kind of been doing that right all along. I'm sure there's been some missteps along the way, but perfect timing. Like I said, it came out right when the pandemic happened, right when we all needed something to somehow have some sense of normalcy to go along with everything. And that's awesome that it's still doing so well and that people are still engaged with it and that they're listening to people. They think there's a lot of companies that don't, and that is a very good thing. That Nintendo usually knows what they're doing, but Animal Crossing in particular, that's really awesome. You did mention some other games that are coming out,
Yeah,
and this is part
for
of the reason why
sure.
I was so excited to get a console. Where are we at on those?
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, Animal Crossing passed in Japan more than 6 million copies sold, which is the first in Super Mario Brothers. So yeah, it's doing pretty well. But we have obviously some of the latest games that just came out. We've got Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is kind of billed as like the big like PS5 game. You have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I don't think you can have an Assassin's Creed game at this point without a lot of debate. It's either great or it sucks or it's too different or it's not different enough. But people are talking about it, and it's
Yep.
still a really successful franchise. I personally really like it. I like the story. I think they did a good job. I was excited about it. I'm not a massive Assassin's Creed fan, but it's not bad. I like to explore and have that open world and jump in and out of it. You've also got Astro's Playroom, which is specifically for the PS5, and it's free. It's built into the console, and it's mostly supposed to be a DualSense demo. The DualSense is the new PS5 controller, and it's supposed to show off everything that you can do, the adaptive triggers and all that. But it's already got so many people being super competitive with speed runs. It's a great platformer. They had Astrobot come out for PSVR, which I love, but I'm not a big fan of PSVR and the wires. So seeing this come out and it not being VR and just more accessible is awesome. I think it's a really great platformer, and it's so fun to see how everyone's getting really creative with how fast they're going. Mind blowing. Love to see it. So you're really going to be seeing more of that. But
I'll
we
say as
can't
somebody who just
talk
finished.
about.
Oh, I was. Oh, really quick. I was just going to say
Oh
I
no,
just finished
go for
Assassin's
it.
Creed Odyssey, and I am quite slow at it. It took me a long time to get through it, but some of these other platforms and ways that you can, get through things fast and see how people are doing it. I'm excited to see that. I'm terrible, but I'm glad other people are good at it.
Yeah, I think it's really mesmerizing to see the experts and just think, wow, I would never do that. I'd try and immediately fall off. It would not happen. But what I was going to say is we can't talk about upcoming games without talking about Cyberpunk 2077, which I know you've talked about being excited for as well. It feels like the entire world is excited for it. It's been delayed, what,
Right?
2 or 3 times now? I actually can't keep track. And what's extra interesting is that the only thing that seems to take longer than for the game to come out is the game itself. We're hearing all of these reports that the game is crazy long, and that's part of why people are taking so long to make it come out. I mean, obviously, props to all the developers working on it. And, I never want to see them work in poor conditions regardless. But Everyone's super excited. It seems like a really involved, detailed game. Hopefully, it's not delayed again. It's supposed to be coming out super soon, so that would be a really big shock to everyone. But they're also announcing some more compatibility with the next generation consoles. I wasn't expecting them to make that as big of a priority at launch, just because, this was supposed to come out months ago and it was delayed. And they said, we are already delayed for things we're previously planning to do. So to add on these other features, it's not really going to happen right away. So that's not super surprising, but I think it's still probably going to be a great game. I hope it is. I'm excited to play it. And I know a lot of other people are. And, gaming has really been one of those things that's getting people through quarantine, whether it's Animal Crossing or something else. So, it's really nice to see that there are games you can play even if you don't have an Xbox Series X or S or a PS5 too.
Yeah, right. Like me. That's Cyberpunk is one of those that like you said, it feels like they've been talking about it for years. I mean, I guess they have, but hopefully sometime soon we'll actually get to see that. And I know, there's so much that goes on with gaming. And like you said, it's such a great thing right now as far as having those options and different games to play, and to keep up with that is very difficult, which is why you were so amazing at it. And that's why I want to take a second for everybody watching right now to just acknowledge that and talk about where people can follow what you're doing and keep up to date with all of this stuff.
Well, thank you so much, firstly. But I will be launching a new YouTube channel. The first video will be going out this week. It's called Hit Play Already. So I'm really excited. The first video is going to be taking a look at the latest Sims 4 expansion pack, Snowy Escape. I'm a big Sims fan, so I'm really excited to just dive deep into it, a lot of the inspirations, my thoughts on it, and there's a lot more to come. I have some other ideas in the works, so that's really exciting. And I'll be talking about gaming, I'll be talking about consoles, what's coming out, and all of my very deepest thoughts about all of these games, and also just entertainment shows and films as well. So yeah, once that video is up, you should really just hit play already and watch.
I cannot wait. So hit play, record, and where can people follow you on Twitter in the meantime to get like all the announcements? Is Twitter the best way?
Yeah, for sure. So you can find me at Lisa Marie underscore Lynn, LISAMARIE underscore, don't spell that out, LYNN. And you can always catch me there for hot takes, cold takes, medium spice takes, and more news on what I'm up to.
All of the takes and a new YouTube channel launching. Congratulations. That is awesome. And definitely we'll be sharing that out so everybody knows to subscribe and follow you on Twitter. Lisa Marie, it is always so nice to talk to you. And thank you for keeping us up to date in like 10 minutes of like all of this news. There's a ton more out there. Everybody follow her on Twitter. And thank you so much. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Lisa Marie Segarra right here. This is Two Box Live, so she is joining us. That is so cool. Again, seriously, follow her on Twitter. Follow the new channel when that launches, because that's going to be great. Whatever is coming out on that, I will definitely be watching along with that.